Welcome to Transforming the Toddler Years, a Core 4 parenting podcast blending soul and science-based strategies to empower pandemic moms like you, raising kindergarten-ready kids. I'm Cara Tyrrell, your host, a lifetime lover of littles, girl mom, early childhood educator, and conscious parenting coach who truly believes that how we connect and collaborate with our kids in the first 5 years is how we raise world-ready kids who will change this world. Welcome back. Today I am talking about a concept that I think you've probably heard before. It's called connect before you expect. And we think about this a lot when, as adults, we're going into a hard conversation with another adult. As socially aware and emotional human beings, knowing that leading with the positive is usually a good thing, and then getting to the meat of what's hard or tricky. But with kids, as adults, we very often feel, it's not even a feeling, if I'm being honest, it's just a subconscious action inside our brains that lead us to say directly the outcome we're looking for, skipping over the connection part, skipping over the emotion part. And so I want to tell you a story today that links our toddlers, preschoolers, kindergartners, teenagers, because it's just a human experience that we need to lean into to help you start to think about how to connect before you expect with your kids. So a dear friend of mine, we have kids who are similarly aged and grew up together, and as parents, we grew up together, sent me a text the other day. So her youngest is a teenager. And in her text, she said, "Okay, Cara, my parenting expert, what is the best way to say this? Your room needs to be cleaned. I need you to clean your room. Or you need to clean your room. Which is best? What should I say to my child?" And I sat with her text for a minute. And I took a deep breath. And I listened to myself say all three of those questions out loud. And all of them sounded like requests for an outcome. There was no connection. And so I texted my friend and I said, "Hey, are you at work right now? Do you want to just pop over? We can talk this through." So she did come on over. And here was my response, my recommendation. Why do you want her to clean her room? You know me. It always comes back to the why. Before we ask anything of anybody else, before we ask anything of ourselves, we have to know why we are doing it. That's just the truth. The why is our motivator to actually take action. So I asked her, why do you want her to clean her room? And she said, because my friend is coming over to visit and she's going to stay in her room overnight. Okay, now we're on to something. Now we know the why behind the action that she wants her daughter to take. Now, how do we communicate that to the kid? That's the question. And that was her original question, right? What words should I use? So here's what I said. Tell her, I am so excited that you get to go have a sleepover, because her daughter was going somewhere else for a sleepover for the night. That's going to be so much fun for you. And I'm so excited that my friend is coming to stay here with me for the night. We are going to have so much fun together. Can you hear the connection to the emotion around the why? We haven't asked anything yet. Just created that connection. The next thing I recommended she say, I would be grateful if you could clean up your room so that my friend has a nice, calm, clutter-free place to stay when she comes to visit. Now we've made the ask, but we've included yet another connection point, another emotion. Here's the third part. This is important. When do you think you can get to it? Will you do it today? Or will you do it tomorrow morning before you leave for your sleepover? Now we've given them a little power, a little space to choose the timeline. This is how we connect before we expect. And then this kiddo's going to have an answer. Maybe they're motivated. They just want it done. I'll do it today. Great. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Maybe they're not. They're not fully vested yet. I'll do it tomorrow before I leave. Okay, super. I really appreciate that. My answer has not changed. It's still a gratitude response. Then comes the accountability partner part. And this is important. You say you'll do it tomorrow. I believe you. But if it gets to be within X number of hours of you leaving, I will be giving you a gentle reminder. I'll just check in. Make sure you remember that you made this commitment. Now let's think back to the original question. She asked 3 questions. Should I say, your room needs to be cleaned? I need you to clean your room. You need to clean your room. They're all declaratives. Every single one. I really hope that through this story, you are able to see that you don't have to wait. In fact, you shouldn't wait until your kids are middle schoolers or teenagers to start having these connection-based expectation asking conversations with them. Start now. Yes, you can have these conversations with a toddler. Yes, you can have them with a preschooler and a kindergartner. And more importantly, then the outcomes are the relationship connectors that you're setting up to be able to have dialogue, for them to trust you, your words, your emotions, your openness enough when the conversations of topic get harder to really be there in it with you and to know that you are always going to reach out to their heart before you request any action of their hands and their bodies. Mamas, papas out there raising the COVID generation, this is your work. They will learn their ABCs, 1, 2, 3's, colors and numbers, I promise. They will eventually potty train. They will eventually read. They will. I promise you. What they need now is to be directly taught how to connect with another human being on a deep emotional level and be modeled and practice the words that we use when we have open, positive communication. That's what they need. If you are struggling and feeling like there's a disconnect in your relationship with your young child, There's a disconnect in the words that you're using, and all you are is walking into a power struggle every single day, repeatedly. That's why I'm here. Make an appointment for a complimentary connection session with the link in the show notes, and let's talk. Let's work together to shift the way they think and the way you feel about what you're building together as a family. Until next episode, stay mindful and proactive as we transform the toddler years.